Hello, artists. I hope you are enjoying your summers and finding some time to be outside, soaking up some much needed vitamin D. Your circle facilitators mentioned this in your last circle meeting, but I wanted to take a moment to talk about it further. Now is the time in the term that if you want to share work and receive specific feedback, we encourage you to take this step. We call these formal sharings. Why the distinction? Well, we think of the different types of sharing opportunities throughout the term. You have brief sharing opportunities in your circle meetings, casual open mic sharing space at the mid-year and end-of-year celebrations. But if you are craving a longer amount of time that is dedicated solely to you and your work, and receiving specific feedback as structured by you, we know that is something entirely different from the other sharing opportunities. So, here's how I think about formal sharings. In the back of your midwives book, there is a page called Sharing Your Work This Term. You will find there a list of questions that we offer as a place to brainstorm, reflect, get curious about why you want to share and what you want that sharing to look like. We hope these questions can be a launching off point for you and your midwife if this is something you are looking for. These sharings could look like in-person or virtual living room readings, something you email to folks to look at in their own time, or even something you send in the mail. And lastly, who you invite has no bounds. You could just invite your circle, or other midwives, or no midwives at all. I encourage you to think about what you are craving from sharing, and then think about who will help you accomplish that. The one disclaimer I have here is remember that we all have limited capacity, and these sharings are not mandatory for anyone. If you can't make it to someone's sharing, that is okay. And if you are really craving an in-person sharing, as well as feedback from someone who lives far away, you might consider recording it for them and sending it that way. And finally, sharing is not a requirement. It is an option, and it is totally up to you to make it happen. If your midwife is able to help, awesome. If not, it's not a requirement. If you want some help thinking through what your sharing could look like with me or your circle facilitator, we are here for you. Please reach out. All we ask is that if you are sharing, regardless of who you are inviting, to please schedule it with your circle facilitator. This helps us get an idea of what is happening in each circle and be able to check in with you if we can help. And it gives you a deadline and something to be working toward. Sharing is an important step in every process. It is a moment of reflection for you, the artist. It is a celebration of what you have created. And it's a moment of possibility of where your work will go next. But additionally, it is a gift. By sharing your work with others, you are energizing the whole community, inspiring them to make and share, and letting your voice affect the larger conversation. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a sharing and gone home immediately to make. I have seen the domino effect of sharing every single term. One person shares, and that immediately launches another artist to share, and so on. So, if you are coming up with all kinds of reasons for why you won't share, I hope you put in the other column all the reasons to share. And a huge one, aside from getting feedback and celebrating your work, is the huge gift you give by sharing. by giving someone that inspiration and motivation. So, if you are thinking about hosting a formal sharing, talk it over with your midwife, peruse the questions in the back of the midwife book, and then reach out to your circle facilitator to get it scheduled. I'm thinking about you and your work.